Pretty cool, huh? Well, now we'd like to hear from you a little bit. What would you like to know? Do you have any questions for us? How about the guy right here in the middle in the yellow? Well, let's save that one for later. How about the gal in the back? Right back there. That's you. Yep, you. In the white? Yeah. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Hey, Josh, you want to hear a spot for me? You know, I've done a few things. Okay, I graduated from St. Anthony's, right? Went to Wahlert High School. Went to the University of Dubuque for a year. Went to the University of Iowa. Got a degree in music. Went over to Chicago and started doing some freelance work in Chicago. I worked in one of the big high schools on the west side. I've worked in two high schools in Chicagoland. It's kind of interesting. One is called Proviso East High School, and that's a place that was famous for making basketball players. It was a really United Nations in that I had the opportunity to work with a lot of people of different faiths and ethnicities, and it was pretty cool. But I had to work really hard because people over there don't have any money, and trying to play an instrument is expensive. So from there I went to Glenbard West High School, which was just the opposite. It's one of the richest schools in the country. But here's the deal. The parents called it the castle on the hill. The kids called it the dump on the home. Think about that a little bit. A little bit of a sense of entitlement there, so that was interesting. From there I went to Loras College in Dubuque. Did some work in math and sciences, which I found came really easy to me. Went to medical school at the University of Iowa, Iowa City. Went in the Army. Went to Germany. Traveled all over Germany. Was in charge of an expedition that went to Kenya. Built a small hospital in Kenya. Came back to Germany. And then John Deere Dubuque Works called, my hometown, and said, we need a doctor. And I said, that's interesting, because I need a job. I'm either out of the Army or I'm going to someplace real romantic like Fort Leavenworth, which is not so cool after being in Germany. So I came to Dubuque, and I worked for John Deere Dubuque Works for not quite 19 years. Retired from there, found I didn't like retirement a whole heck of a lot, and some friends of mine that work at Allen Hospital in Waterloo had a job opening. So I became the medical director in occupational health at Allen Hospital in Waterloo, and that's where I am right now. We live in Cedar Falls in a house on the Cedar River. It's really cool. So yeah, I've been around a little bit, traveled a little bit, done a few things. Yeah, that's cool. All right. The lovely young lady in the back. How did I meet Peg? Oh, okay. We have an ongoing controversy about this, but I think we both agree. We were in a backup orchestra for a Canadian singer by the name of Anne Murray. Well, okay. Yeah. So we got to know each other there. Peg's an excellent tennis player, too, and we both play tennis. So, and that happened, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. Yes, sir. Oh, when I grew up, I used to like to do things like play basketball, shoot pool, and play football, and play clarinet and saxophone. Played piano, too. It was kind of fun. How about the guy with the colorful shirt here? Yep. I don't know, ask my wife. How about the guy in the yellow? We tried this once before, didn't we? How about the young man in the white shirt right here?
When did the family learn to read music?
Ah, okay, that's a really good question. I had to learn, and I think Peg had to learn almost immediately when we started our instruments in elementary school.
Wait. She's got it.
Hi, everybody. Oh, hello.
Hi.
And to add on to that, I started piano when I was 5 years old. And I started out with private lessons every week, and then also every week I had dictation, ear training, theory, from the time I was 5 years old. Every week I had 2 lessons in piano. And And then when I was age 7, I started in flute. And then I always liked to sing, and I was composing at age 7 as well. I have some of my really old composing things. And now I also am published composer as well as a flute player. So I learned with piano first, and a lot of, I had people that really believed in listening to music, so I got as much music as I could off of records at that time or off of personal experiences. My parents used to take us into here Chicago Symphony almost every week, so we really did a lot of ear training.
Couple more? Okay. Who have we had? How about the guy in the blue right here?
Where did we get the Star Wars music?
That was actually her.
I did it. I arranged
did it.
it all. John Williams. Yeah,
cool.
Absolutely.
Good for you. How about the young man in the yellow shirt right over here? I started in the 4th grade, right here at St. Anthony's.
4th grade. All right.
One more.
One more good question. Let's get somebody in the back. How about the guy in the blue shirt back there? Do I like playing the clarinet or saxophone better? Clarinet, but the saxophone will make you more money. Okay?
Here we go.
All right, we're going to play you one more tune here, and I think Wes is going to introduce it.
Okay, you remember how I told you that Antonio Vivaldi said in springtime everyone was happy? And that music was written 300 years ago, just over 300 years ago. Here's a tune from a year and a half ago that's just called Happy, and I honestly think this one also is going to survive. Here's Happy.